So guys, sorry I didn't do coding because then when I finished poker game, then I had to do a school work and I didn't have done, and I also did some, and I also made a RC code that is doesn't right now is controlled by remote control, but it will certainly be because in this week I'll make it. So I was just trying to say that.
On a e-commerce website where if you open the box, you get a coupon or something like that. And as for HTML, it's just a very simple div with an ID of box. And of course, I've styled it a little bit in the CSS file, but we're not going to worry about that. So when you have grabbed the box from the DOM and stored it in a variable, you are to add a click event listener to it. And then finally log out. I want to open the box when the box is clicked.
See, mm, yung let box 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 you want the document dot yung document query selector. Second. Okay, for people that remember, document is a dictionary and it's its value, and this is a function. Hey, bro. Okay. Only legendary people know this. If you know this, you are 110% legendary. Okay?
So if you struggle to remember how to add an event listener using JavaScript, you can go back and rewatch how I explained that, or even better, Google it out, and you should find the solution as well. With that, go ahead and solve this challenge right now.
Okay, hopefully that it will. That went well. Okay, hopefully that went well.
Okay, hopefully
Hopefully
that
that
went
it
well.
will.
Let's do this. So we'll do let box equals
Um,
document dot get element by ID, passing in box. And then to add the event listener, it's box dot add event listener, passing in first the event we want to listen for. That is the click. And then what do we want to trigger when the user clicks? Well, it's this function right here. And inside of it, we're going to console.log. I want to open the box like that. Let's run the code. Click the box, and yes, it works. Console.log. I want to open the box. Like that. Let's run the code. Click the box, and yes, it works. Great job. Okay, we are back at our lead tracking app. Now, of course, you are going to do what I showed you before you learned about Add Event Listener, which is to refactor our app so that it uses the .add event listener when you click on the Save Input button.
I did it.
I'm going to grab the
Hopefully that is
input
it.
btn.add event listener. We're going to listen for clicks, and the code we want to run when users click the button is inside of the body of this function right here. So I'm going to copy this console log, paste it in there. Now I can remove the save lead function, and I can also remove the onClick attribute in the HTML, like that. I'll rerun the code, click save input, and indeed it works. Great job. Let's move on. Now we need to set up the infrastructure for being able to actually save the leads that we enter into our input field. And for that, we need two variables. Now we need to set up the infrastructure for being able to actually save the leads that we enter into our input field. And for that, we need two variables. First, a myLeads variable, which should be assigned to an empty array. Secondly, the inputL variable, which should be assigned to the text input field. With that, I mean the input field right here. So go ahead and create these two variables. That's weird. Why am I doing that? You might wonder. And that is because in modern JavaScript, developers swap equals document get element by ID, passing in the input L. However, what I'm going to do is to swap out this let with const. That's weird. Why am I doing that? You might wonder. And that is because in modern JavaScript, developers use both let and const to declare variables. And now I think it's about time that you learn both of these methods. So we're going to set the input L as a const and also the input btn. Now, the main difference between const and let is that const cannot be reassigned. And the name kind of hints to that. It says const, which is short for constant. So whatever you assign it to should be constant, meaning you can't reassign it. And if you don't remember what reassignment is, it's when you do input L, for example, equals hello. This won't work. If I run this code, you can actually see assignment to constant variable. I tried to assign the input L, however, it's a constant, so JavaScript is saying, not allowed. Now, you might ask, why do we need this? This seems to be something that just makes it more difficult for us to code. because it gives us less freedom? Well, that is a very good question. So in the next cast, we'll dig in.
Cost, 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 cost.
Exactly that, so that you properly understand why you want to use both let and const, and actually get some practice using both of these variable types. Okay, let's say that we are back at our blackjack game, and we have two variables, player name and. Okay, let's say that we are back at our blackjack game, and we have two variables, player name and credits. The first one is a const, whereas the second one is a let. Now, immediately upon seeing these two variables, a developer will understand that player name is not to be reassigned. However, this developer wouldn't only think that credits can be reassigned, it would actually assume that credits are to be reassigned further down in the code. So however, this developer wouldn't only think that credits can be reassigned, it would actually assume that credits are to be reassigned further down in the code. So the developer would expect something like credits equals credits minus 10, for example. And the reason for that is that developers often use the following to decide whether or not they should use const or let. So if possible, default to using const. If not, use let. If these two lines follow this methodology, it would mean that it simply wasn't possible to write credits as a const, because it is going to be reassigned later down in the code, and thus we skipped the default of const and used let instead. And this is actually the biggest benefit with const. It gives us a way to quickly signalize to anyone who are reading the code what we want to do with the variables. So in addition to expecting that something like this here would happen, the developer would also be very suspicious if she saw something like player name equals something else down here, because that would mean that the person writing this code mixed up their let and consts, or perhaps didn't even understand it. And as we know, this will give us an error. So, with all of this knowledge and following this methodology, I want you to do a challenge. Which of the variables below should be changed from let to const? Here, the situation is an e-commerce shop where you have a base price, a discount, a shipping cost, and shipping time. At some point, though, the details of the shipping changes, and then you calculate the full price, and finally notify the customer. So go ahead and change some of the.
Okay. First, base price, discount, shipping cost. Okay. This, okay. It should be const. Const. Okay. So this also be const. Const. Oh, turns out. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's do this.
This.
I'm going to
Let's do
start
this.
down here on where things are reassigned. It's easy to see that these are reassignments since we're starting a new line with just the variable name, not let, in front of it. So here we are reassigning shipping cost and shipping time, meaning these two can be let. And this is a new variable, so actually, here's the end of our code, and base price and discount, they haven't changed. So they could be consts. And it says here, if possible, use consts. So default to consts. So then I'll do const and const, like that. Run the code. Works perfectly fine. I haven't broken anything. Is there anything else we can do? Yep, actually it is. Here, at full price, we see that this variable is only assigned once. It's not reassigned further down, just used here in the console log, meaning that this one also should be a const. So hopefully you now understand why we want to use const and let. And if it's still a bit confusing, don't worry about it. We're going to continue using these variables throughout this course. So eventually, it'll be completely natural for you to switch between these two variable types. With that, let's return back. Okay, we are back in our lead tracker app, and now we need to make sure that when the user hits the save input button, a lead is pushed to the my leads array. For now, you're just going to use a hard-coded lead, so www.awesomelead.com, for example, and that value should be pushed to my array when the input button is clicked. So go ahead.
Mm, up, 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 baby. Up, baby. Up, baby. Up, baby.
Ahead and give this a shot right now. Leads, dot out the my. If I hit it again, we have 2 and 3 and 4. However, it's pretty useless because we're just pushing the exact same thing to the array, so let's fix up that in the next cast. Okay, so now we are going to take whatever the user enters into the input field right here and push that value into the myLeads array when the save input button is clicked. So push the value from the input into the myLeads array instead of the hard-coded www.awesomeleads.com value right here. However, I haven't taught you how to actually get the value from the input L. That is, for example, this www.example value right here. So you need to Google that. And that
How do I get the value of it? You know what the fuck, bro? You know what the fuck? Or on with chat. I'm going with the chat. PPG, bro. Chat. PPP. I'm going with the chat. PPP. Oh, and this is what I need. Select the input using okay. To get the value from input field in JavaScript, you will follow. Select the input field. Use the access the value property. Once you have reference the input to the oh yeah that. No, I have to read. Access the value once you have referred to the input. You can access its value current value using variable. Once you have referred to the input value. What the Paparita saca saca suco 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 input L dot my push. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. My input input. I don't really want to. I don't have the. Don't know this. Mm-hmm. So, don't. Chat खोलेगा तो oh 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 whatever it is the one thing this no first let input um, input 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 this On another rider. Book. Okay. खलबली है खलबली देखो कौन मुड़ी अपने यार का वतन हरी यार खलबली है खलबली देखो क्या खलबली खलबली है खलबली Yoga. So guys, hmm, what values revenue is the value of this? Okay, I'll do this. Okay, now I follow. Hello, hello. Now ready. Uh, Done with heavy duty window, 1970 step underground method. Okay, let's see now. Hello. Oi, 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 oi. Sorry, sorry. Isn't it working? So now we have to see is your your main your main.
It's great practice because Googling is, as you know, something professional developers do every single day. So here is what I recommend you to Google. Look at how we can find the answer to this. But the first one is W3 schools. I want to go to stackoverflow.com. So I'll click here, go into Stack Overflow, and here we can see the question being asked. It seems super relevant for us, and it's been viewed 2.5 million times. So super relevant for a lot of other people as well. Let's scroll down a little bit to the answers because that's where the juice is. Here we can see there are various methods to get an input text box value directly. And here, method one, that's probably what we want. You can see document.getElement by ID, passing in an ID, and doing dot value. Oh, that's pretty handy. So how do we go about doing that? Well, we already have the document getElement by ID, and we have stored that in the input L variable. So perhaps we simply can do .com, save input, and yes, we can see in our console that we have pushed the value we entered into the input field. Lead.com.
I did the exact same, but it didn't work for me. Takara katamako tamateru oh, oh, but it didn't work for me. To define your dreams come true. Hello. But it didn't work for me to define your dreams come true. And I wonder what you know, no. But me, three, the only thing it means is hello, my friend. Why is it showing it? Uh, 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 what the, what the, what the. Hmm? There must be. Oh yeah, Vitamin protein tools and technology is our big step and around about not more better. Ever tell me that I did such a mistake? Yes, I did it, did it. I did such a mistake. Yes, I did it. Such silly mistake. Hello, 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 hello. Let's say hello again. Hello, 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 hello. I'm dead. You know when I'm dead? You know when? When you die.
Save input. And yes, we can see in our console that we have pushed the value we entered into the input field. Lead2.com, save input, and that works as well. Great job. Let's move on.
Woohoo! I did a great job, man. Give me a.
Okay, now that we're able to take the input value and push it into the myleads array so that we store our data.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a test bar. Salam alaikum. Salam. Hey yo. Hey yo, man. 30 minutes, but I have it